Yes, people, welcome back to Mission Podcast and another UFC video for you guys. Our immediate review. It's not really immediate, it's a few days after, but we're going to discuss what went down at UFC 317. Ilia Topuria has been crowned your new UFC lightweight champion, and he pretty much smoked Charles Oliveira with ease. I'm joined by my regular co-host Danny DK and Hedy, of course, the Charles superfan. So let's go straight to Hedy then. What were your thoughts on the fight and the result?
Um, Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say it was inevitable. It was just that false hope that I had that Charles could win, because he has been doubted before. But let's be real, it was the most likely outcome of Topuria winning by knockout. And to be fair to him, he's a nice guy as well. He's just knocking out all our favorite legends. So I'm not gonna say I was happy for him, because obviously Charles lost. He knocked out my favorite fighter, but he did deserve it, and it was the better outcome for the fight because it opens up more opportunities for the lightweight division now, especially with the face-off that they had. So yeah, mine is what it is. Charles, I still love you, bro. Don't worry.
Bro,
Yeah,
Ilia Topuria, yeah. This guy's a superstar. This guy in 3 fights has become, I'm not going to say as big as Conor because that's impossible, but he's become probably the biggest superstar in UFC right now by a mile. He comes in to fight for the featherweight belt. He knocks out Volkanovski. That's really impressive. Everyone's like, okay, this guy's serious. Then he does the unthinkable, knocks out Max Holloway. No one's ever knocked out Max Holloway. This guy does it. Then he goes up to 155. He goes, okay, I've cleared out featherweight. No one's worth my time in featherweight. I'm not going to fight everywhere. I'm not going to fight I'm not going to fight Emmett. I mean, I beat Emmett already. I'm not going to fight Allen. Then he goes up to 155. It was the perfect time to fight Islam, but Bilal had to bottle it and lose to JDM. So that fight got thrown out the window. And they were like, okay, Charles Oliveira, let's see. We've seen it already at 155 against Jai Herbert, and he knocked him out after getting dropped. Yeah, but okay, let's see against Charles Oliveira, a much better person. A person who can grapple, a person who's good in the clinch, a person who's got power to knock someone out. And he comes in, and within 2-3 minutes, he absolutely starches Charles Oliveira. I've seen Charles Oliveira get knocked down. We've all seen it in plenty of fights. Pretty much every fight he gets knocked down. But in this fight, the way Ilia Topuria folded him, bro, I couldn't believe my eyes.
bro,
And the
he
UFC
was.
now, and the UFC now, yeah, they've got a megastar on their hands. Dana
He's.
White, please don't mess this up. Dana White's the kind of guy you don't give a guy like Ilia Topuria because he'll probably do something stupid and mess him up, probably not pay him enough. But the potential we've got with Ilia Topuria as UFC's face is just amazing. Run that event in Spain, run him with Paddy, let him knock Paddy out, and then maybe he moves up to 170 and fights Islam there. Who knows? But yeah, man,
nah, he's not gonna
unbelievable.
knock Paddy out. He said he wants to submit. He wants to submit Paddy.
Bro, look
Yeah,
what he
finish
did
it
to
with him.
Charles. He said he likes Charles. Look what he's gonna do to Paddy's gonna be unreal. It might be the first sanctioned murder in the UFC, bro.
You know what he's with Topuria, yeah? Like, for his opponents, you be in the cage with him for, you have 5 rounds here. You can do whatever you want to him. You can take him down. He'll get back up. And it's just always inevitable. It's like the kind of aura Connor used to have. Like, no matter what you do to Connor, he's going to eventually find that finish and eventually finish you.
Listen,
Um,
I'm comparing him more to Khabib. You know how Khabib said he'll take you to the
Mm.
ground and do it. It's the
I'd
same with
say,
Topuria.
I'd say
He'll
the
just find that finish.
I'd say the Conor v Aldo fight was more Topuria v Holloway. Like Aldo was impossible to finish
Yeah,
out there, and this was
yeah,
more
yeah.
Conor v Alvarez, Topuria v Charles because he moves up
Mm.
and wins the belt. Like the similarities of like very similar between both
Eerily similar, bro.
Topuria and Conor. But now we've got the chance of Topuria to not to go to boxing or just fizzle out. We've got a chance to Topuria to actually cement his name and become one of the goats. I think he's well on his way to do that. Right now, I would say he's probably top 10. I don't think that's too crazy to
Yeah,
say.
that's not controversial to
Yeah,
say,
top
bro.
10, but I'd say give him 2, 3 more wins, let him be the best of the best, and I could see him very well being in GOAT conversations.
Listen, the
See,
guy.
the scary
If
thing about Ilya is like, did you see him in the face-off with Charles? Like when after the press conference when he's like, "Oh, it's already done. I've won,
Crazy.
bro." And
not even
the
that, bro. He
just the
was
confidence he
apologizing to
exudes.
him.
Yeah, exactly. The confidence he exudes is just scary, man. It's like you can't doubt this guy. Anything he says, you gotta believe. Like he's done. He walks the walk, innit? He doesn't just talk the talk.
Yeah.
He's knocked out Volkanovski in devastating fashion. He's knocked out Holloway in devastating fashion, and now he's done it to Charles in devastating fashion. I think I'm the only one that said it on the preview show that I reckon Topuria knocks him out in the first round, and yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what happened, man.
Bro, it's not even that. Which type of person goes to a face-off and apologizes to the guy before the fight, saying,
Yeah,
"I'm sorry, I didn't want it to be you." And then not even that.
it's like
Literally,
something out of a movie, innit?
and then his tweet the day after, he was already celebrating the victory. It's just unreal what
That was
he's.
mental. He posted a tweet literally a day before the fight. In the morning, I think it was at 4, 5 o'clock, he was literally
Yes.
celebrating. He was like, congratulations. And 24 hours later, he absolutely starches Charles Oliver. Crazy, man.
Listen,
It's
boys,
mad.
tell me if this is a controversial opinion or not, but I think Topuria, he's a bigger star than what Connor was. Obviously, Connor, he brought the
I
sport.
don't know about that. I think that's a
No,
stretch.
Not yet.
hear me out to what I'm gonna say. Obviously, Connor, he did it when the sport it wasn't at the stage that it is right now. But just in terms of their fight, like the star power, because when McGregor was coming up, he didn't have 10 million followers on Instagram. They all came after Topuria. He's doing it, and he's got the following as well right now.
But
If you know
that's
what I mean.
it's a different era though, isn't it? Back
Yeah,
then,
that's what I'm trying to say. But
social media was
obviously,
still around back then, but it's not as big
yeah,
as it is today,
obviously
innit?
the
I think,
UFC it wasn't as established. But what I'm
yeah.
trying to say is like just as in terms of star power, Topuria is the
But the
biggest
thing
star.
is, I feel like recently UFC has been kind of been on the back burner.
Oh, yeah.
People are kind of losing interest in it. So a guy like Ilya is very much needed in sport, and
Yeah,
yeah,
100%. He'll revive the sport. That's what I think.
I think when Connor was on the rise, there was no one like him. The
mm,
UFC hadn't seen someone like Connor ever. He came in and he pretty much established UFC, mainstream. He made him massive. He got the fight with Floyd Mayweather. He did literally everything a superstar would do. Now, I mean, you could compare their streaks, the way they got there, the way they fought, who they fought. I think that's fair. You can argue who was better. I personally think Topuria was better. You can argue Conor
Same.
was better, fair enough. But I think the biggest star is still Conor, and Topuria is gonna have to
are you
do a
talking
lot.
in terms of opponents?
Yeah,
Then
I
yeah, I
think
Yeah,
agree with you guys. I think
easily.
yeah,
Warriors have fought better opponents,
I
but
think Volker, Max, and Charles is a crazy, crazy
yeah,
set of.
And let's
that's
not forget
that's
McGregor. He
two
didn't defend
goats,
his belt
two
as well.
two goat contenders right there, Volk and
To
Holloway,
feather the
that he
goat contenders
smoked
and
back to back.
like
Yeah,
and a 155 legend. So yeah, mental.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think
yeah,
Daniel
go.
Cormier did say the equivalent of Topuria knocking out Volkanovski and Holloway. It's like Alex Pereira knocking out DC and John Jones back to back because they're
Mm,
the two goats of the light heavyweight division.
Yeah, I mean, you can make that comparison, but the
Yeah,
thing about Ilya is
yeah,
just exciting, man. He has so many possibilities. He can either, well, they're saying I think the three most likely opponents for him next are either Gagey, Paddy, or Arman,
yeah,
and he's already saying I want to go up to 170 and fight Islam if Islam gets past JDM. And
yeah.
it's just like it's just this guy's so game, man. He reminds you of Conor. He does remind you of Conor McGregor in his prime, and he's just like not scared of anyone. He's calling out anyone and everyone. I mean, I don't know if I sent you that clip today, Danny. I don't know if you can pull it up, but he was speaking about. I think they were asking him who would have been your dream person to fight. He's like, oh, I would have loved to have fought Habib. He's like, I feel like
oh
I could
yeah.
have beaten Habib. What do you guys make of that?
Listen, two different
That's
eras.
yeah, that's a
Uh,
crazy thing to say.
Like
Yeah,
Topuria said, he's the new generation of MMA. I think the sports evolved.
it
People they're
has it.
having
yeah.
the sports evolved. So
Mm,
comparing two eras, I think it'll be a bit hard to visualize how that fight goes. But
yeah. But like, what if let's say you could be a fly on the wall, yeah, in Islam Makachev's room if he was watching this fight live? What do you think his reaction would have been to
listen,
seeing him?
he did not even tweet anything after the fight. He was tweeting all up to that
Islam was
fight.
watching the fight. Yeah, yeah, he was tweeting about the other fights, but he never tweeted about that one.
He was hiding under a blanket. That's my thoughts.
I don't know, man. I feel I don't know. With the Dagestanis, I'll be like they ain't scared of fighting anyone. But I don't know.
Same.
I'm sensing a bit of duck energy from Islam Makhachev with this. I reckon if he's smart, he should avoid this fight. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? If he gets past JDM, his legacy's set in stone. Have one or two defenses at 170 and call it a day. It would be a big risk.
I think
Love to see it, man.
I think Islam he's in a I'm not gonna say a bad situation right now, but let's just imagine he loses the Jack Della fight. What's next for him? Does he go back down to 55?
That's the thing.
Yeah, he has to.
Ilia Topuria goes that, or if Islam loses, I'm not going to give him a title shot straight away. You're gonna have to be a
Mm.
contender to get that title shot, which is fair to be honest. He's a champion. He calls the shots. If Islam took this risk, go up. If he does lose, he goes back down. I don't think it's fair. He gets the fair shot. I think he probably has to be a contender before that. Right now, I think if you had to give me the top three contenders, I'd say it would be Paddy, Arman, and probably Gaethje. You know,
Mm.
and we
The
Listen,
didn't
thing,
Derek,
talk
if I
about
can just
the
say something,
yeah.
Holloway's gone up to 155 now. Is there any possibility he could fight Topuria again at 155 if he wins against Dustin?
We spoke about this last episode, and I think I don't personally think Holloway would want that himself. I don't think he wants to face Topuria again. I just want. I think Holloway's at the stage of his career where I just want
just
fun
fun
fights.
fights.
I, that
I want to see Holloway Oliveira. That's the next
that
fight.
Yeah.
Dustin Poirier fight, which we'll cover next month, I think it's pointless. I don't know why have they
Yeah,
done that
I'm not
fight.
happy with that. It
I
should
would
have
have been
been
fine.
It should have been Poirier Gagey in it.
Yeah, just give
Yeah.
Holloway fun fights at 155, man. I hope he fights Charles after, you know. Charles v. Holloway would be a
How?
good.
Oh, this is an interesting one I saw earlier. How would you think a Topuria and Poirier fight would have gone down?
Listen, I think Topuria would still manage to find the KO. Because let's not forget, Dustin is very hittable. He has
Mm,
been rocked. And I think
yeah,
Topuria, listen, you can't doubt him anymore. If he says he's going to knock him out in the first round, first 30 seconds, whatever, I'm going to believe
yeah.
him.
It's
Whatever
like
he says.
you believe whatever this guy says, you believe in it.
Yeah.
And the one thing I like about Topuria, he's basically like the boogeyman now for Islam. He's like, wherever you go, I'm gonna be there. Whether you come back to 155 or you're gonna stay at 170, I'm chasing you basically. And yeah, I think that's the only super fight really that the UFC has. I can't
Yeah,
think of
as of
any
now.
other ones. It's Ilya Islam in it, and I
Yeah.
think it's building towards that. I reckon if Islam gets past JDM, I reckon Topuria will have at least one more defense, whether it's Paddy, Gagey, or Arman. I personally want it to be Paddy. I know Paddy might not have the best of chances compared to guys like Arman and Gagey, but like I don't know, man. I feel like Paddy, the build up will be electric. It's gonna do numbers. It's gonna generate buzz. It just makes sense business wise for the UFC to book that fight next in Spain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
I, I think stylistically, Oman has the best chance to beat Topuria. He's an
mm,
amazing wrestler. He would have to be flawless for 5 rounds to beat Topuria. But with Paddy, I just don't see it. But personally, I want to see Ilya with Paddy. I think the build
Yeah.
up, the promos, you know, the way they'll sell that fight, it would be absolute massive. Like,
But you know what I'll say about Paddy? Yeah, one thing about Paddy, I've always like downplayed this guy. So he's gonna get knocked out when he fights this guy, blah blah blah. But he keeps proving us wrong. So I'm not saying that he's gonna prove us wrong against Topuria, but I don't know,
Yeah,
man. I wouldn't write him off completely.
DDP
100%.
posted a video on YouTube today and he leaked Paddy v Gaethje, which is
That's a
going to
great
happen
fight.
on that Chicago
Yeah,
card.
that's a
So
great fight, man.
personally, I think could they do Topuria v Oman and then Paddy v Gaethje win against that, or do they just wait for Paddy v Gaethje? I'm not sure.
Mm, you see, with Paddy entering the cage on after Saturday's event, I think Ilya personally was pushing for it because he did call him out.
Did you guys see what Dana said about that?
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah, Dana White.
I don't know why that was allowed.
Listen, we all know, we all know what Dana's trying to do.
Also, he goes that Oman didn't actually, you know, pull out.
Yeah,
He didn't make weight, so he's
yeah, he
gonna
dropped the
fight.
bombshell, didn't he?
That's
Yeah,
the thing about Arman as well. Like he's demanding title shots and stuff, but when he gets given them, he like fucks it up in it.
Yeah,
But Gagey, I don't know, man. The guy's already had 2 title shots. I don't know if I want to see because I don't see him winning against the Topuria, to be honest.
no, no way.
But Paddy v Gagey is going to be a great
Bro,
fight.
that's an immense fight. That
Who do you think
you've
is going
got
to win
two.
that fight?
Um,
I
right
It's
think
a
now I'm
difficult
probably
one.
still gonna lean Gaethje.
I'm
I'm
still
gonna
think
lean
Gaethje.
Gaethje
I'm gonna go Paddy the
because
Baddy
let's,
man. I
yeah,
reckon
When
Paddy the Baddy has his
Paddy
number.
faced Chandler, we all knew how washed Chandler was. Like, still, it's
Mm.
a big step up, but we all knew how washed Chandler was.
yeah.
Gaethje, I still think is semi-washed, but not washed enough to lose to Paddy. That's just my thoughts.
But the thing
Listen,
with
it's it.
Gagey style is good for Paddy, innit? Standing and
Mm,
banging. You know what I
Dana
mean?
Bang, yeah.
we
It
want
favors Paddy.
this fight. It will show if Paddy's ready for Topuria. If he can strike with a guy who's got power and take them shots. I'm not saying Gaethje's got the same power as Topuria, but we'll see how his striking's improved, how he is on the feet. Because against Chandler, we didn't really see it.
Where do you guys think Charles Oliveira now goes from here? Like, I personally, I want him to
Um,
fight Holloway,
yeah, same,
regardless if Holloway wins or loses against Dustin.
same.
But
That's the only
do you
fight.
ever see? Do you guys ever see Charles getting another
No,
title shot?
no, no.
Mm,
He's gonna be by the time he gets another victory, he'll already be 38 because he's
Mm.
36 right now. He's gonna be out for at least 6 months.
You know what? I could see Charles. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Charles Oliveira with the just defending the BMF belt if he wins it. I reckon he'd
Yeah,
have some crazy good fights, man.
I wouldn't mind. Let's just say hypothetically, Ilia Paddy fight happens and Ilia wins. Could see
Mm.
Paddy versus Charles for the BMF belt. That would be a good fight.
Yeah, that would be a fun fight as well. But let's move on now to the co-main event: Alexander Pantoja versus Kai Kara France. What did you guys make of this fight?
Pantoja is absolutely
He's such
unbelievable.
a beast, bro.
Guys, unreal.
He's
I think we all said this. We all said that there was just no chance. Kaikor is good. I rate him. I think he's top five worthy. Just not as good as Pantoja. Right now in the division, we'll talk about Joshua one after this. I think no one's on his level. I think
no one.
Pantoja is that good right now. He's probably fighting at a level Demetrius Johnson was fighting at flyweight all them years ago. I think he's that good right now. He's just relentless with his pressure, his grappling. Once he takes you down, it's hard to get up. You know, he can sub you, he can take you to the trenches, he can do all sorts to you. Kai Kara France never really stood a chance. I mean, I felt bad for him in there.
Same.
He offered absolutely nothing. Pantoja doing what he does best. But yeah, right now I think Pantoja is probably top five pound for pound. I don't think he gets the
Exactly.
respect just because he's flyweight. I mean, personally for me, this was my most enjoyable card of the year, and you had two flyweight fights in the main card. It just shows, you know, like give your flyweights a chance. Joshua Van, we'll talk about that afterwards, but fight of the
Facts.
year by far. Fight of the year
Easy.
by far. They both just unbelievable fight. But yeah, with Pantoja, who he faces next, I think they've set him up nicely for Joshua One. They had Joshua One come down after his fight into the cage, and you know they both faced off. I think that fight will happen. Good fight, but I still think Pantoja will win. You know
Yeah.
he's run through this division. He beat Moreno, he beat Kaikor. He's basically beat everyone. So yeah, I think he's an amazing fighter. He's a proper dog. Like he can take you to the trenches. But yeah, man, I love Pantoja. I think he's a great fighter.
Pantoja's 125 in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was seeing reports saying he might even move up to fight. Is it Marab?
Mirab Dvalishvili, yeah. But so I still think they both got their own respective fights to have first.
Yeah.
Plus, I think Mirab even came out and said, "Oh, I think it was Pantoja." He said he doesn't want to go up and fight. He wants to stay in his own division, cement
Mm.
his legacy. Which I'm not gonna lie. Personally, I think Pantoja's overtook Demetrius Johnson because of if you look at the stats,
Ooh.
he's got the most wins in the flyweight division. He's got the most finishes, and now all of his title defenses, 4 title defenses with 3 finishes. So
Has he got the most title defenses though? No, he
no,
hasn't.
no, no.
Because like
But
I think it's a bit. I think it's a bit early to put him
Johnson has
above
like 12, yeah, which is
Demetrius
crazy.
Johnson.
I think it's
But
because Pantoja he has broken free quite
I can see him. I
late.
can see him breaking the record though. The
Listen,
way
Yeah.
he's going.
if Pantoja wants to go for greatness and go for a 135, I don't mind. You can go for that. Personally, I want to see him just absolutely obliterate
Yeah.
this division and become, you know, the flyweight goat. I think he
I
has the
mean, I
potential
think
to do that.
125 looks very good right now. Anyway, there's a lot of like good fights out there for him.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, Cap, because if you look at the top 10, Pantoja is literally beating everyone in that top 10, minus, I think it's, um, what's his name, man?
Shout out
Has he
Fatso. Should bring back Makaev.
has he beat
Pantoja
That's the
versus.
one. I was going to say, bring back Makayev. He's the
has
only
he
one
beat
left.
Albazi? Has he beat
No,
Albazi?
he's not fought Albazi. He's literally fought everyone else. And that, I can't say his name. What is it? Asu Abulayev or whatever. He's not fought him as well.
But yeah, I think Joshua Van is the name being mentioned. He was there in the cage
Oh,
when Pantoja won. What do you guys make of that? Pantoja versus Joshua Van. Who do you think wins?
That'll be a really good fight, but I still think Pantoja should do enough. But it's a fight. Anything can happen.
I thought that fight was absolutely unbelievable. Both
Oh,
men.
tell
I
me
went
about
into
it.
the fight probably 50-50. I thought Joshua one could win. I just thought Royval, as he's done many times, would dog out a win. But Van looked really impressive. Like his boxing was great. You know, Royval as well. Both had an unbelievable
Mm,
fight. And I think it was the raw winner. Joshua one definitely deserved that. Joshua one is crazy though. I think he's 22, 23 years old. He's fought
23.
five times in the last year. He lost against Charles Johnson. It happens. You get knocked out. It's not a big deal. He came back after that and he's fought five times in 12 months. That is unbelievable. And now, deservedly so, I think he's got his title shot. If it's too soon, time will tell. I think it will be. But, 22 years old, he's going to have many, many opportunities, to improve and he'll be back in this position. But yeah, I think Joshua Van's having an amazing career. And
Facts.
I think Pantoja will beat him, but yeah, it's not the end of the world for Joshua Van. I think, um, putting him on the main card was the biggest advantage. If Dinawa put that on the prelims, they would have got lost. Like, of course, the casual fans would have watched it and said, okay, it was a good fight, but the world got to watch Joshua Van absolutely go to war with Royval. So yeah, I think Joshua Van's a much bigger name than he was 48 hours ago, and I do
mm.
think the fight will be good. I still think Pantoja will have enough to, beat him.
The thing that
Yeah,
impressed me about Joshua Van was, Danny, you watched the fight. You know the adjustments he made in the third round with
Oh yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
What was it? The lead oblique kicks to the legs of Royval.
I think the oblique kick winning the fight,
That
them
the
oblique kicks.
improvements he made, it just
Yeah, yeah.
shows he's only 23. He's been training MMA for 3 years, and he's already got IQ like that against a longer, bigger opponent. And he's pulling out moves like that. It just shows what's next for him. Because let's be real, he'll keep improving. I don't know about Pantoja if he can go to a next level because he's 36. I mean 35, and Van's only 23. So
it might be a case of it's a bit too early for Joshua Van
yeah,
in his
I'm still
career.
leading Pantoja, but it's a fight. Anything can happen.
But
Yeah, I
yeah, I
mean,
think
the best thing he can do right now, Joshua, one, is take this opportunity and shoulder. Well, okay, if I
mm,
don't get it done this time, I'll be here next time. And I think he is that good.
yeah,
I think he's,
Yeah,
especially his striking. His striking
he
is
has a
really good.
he has a record to break as well. If he wins against Pantoja, I think he'll be the youngest ever champ, beating John Jones in the
Oh,
process.
would he actually do it before John Jones?
I think he's 23 now, isn't he? So if he fights in December,
how old was Jones when he won the? I think he
it
was
was
21.
23 as well. 23.
Yeah, I thought, yeah. That's really impressive
Nah,
if he does
I
that.
think he can equal it. I think he can't beat it.
well, I know John Jones is hoping that doesn't happen. That's with
The
his
perfect
ego.
card would be Ilia Paddy and Pantoja versus Van in December.
I've hated UFC for the not hated, but I've disliked it more than I liked it 2, 3 years ago. But right now, I think there's a lot of champions where they have like an inevitably factor about them. I'm gonna say Tom Aspinall kind of does. I'd say Ilia Topuria does. I'd say Pantoja does. I'd say Merab definitely does, and I'd even say Volkanovski does. I know
I,
he, I
I
know
think he missed one out.
Volkanovski. Who have I missed out?
Ankalaev.
And he has already had a title defense. He has it.
He hasn't, but his style is just inevitable, especially at 205 because they're not the best of grapplers. And Ankalaev, I'm saying this
205
as a
is a
Pereira fanboy.
horrible
I'm saying
division.
this
I
as a
can't
Pereira
lie.
fanboy. I think Ankalaev will probably beat him again in the rematch because let's be real, his grappling's already at an elite level and his striking's improving as well. He's got that all round game.
Do you guys remember in 2021 when we had Usman Asham, Volker Sham,
Yeah,
Izzy Asham? I think the current
yeah,
set of champs have that kind of aura around them. They're going to be hard to beat. And whoever does beat him, it'll take him to the next level. So,
yeah.
yeah, I do think it's better for the UFC whenever you have these kind of champions who go
Easily.
on a roll and absolutely, obliterate everyone. They've got the way Topuria, Mera, Pantoja, all these guys, who are just not stopping and taking all the fights, being everyone. So yeah, I think it's good for the UFC. They've been kind of missing this, especially with the star power.
Yeah,
I think Islam, Tom Aspinall to a level, and Topuria push these guys to the moon. And
Yeah,
you'll be better than you were last
I mean,
time.
I definitely agree with you guys. I feel like UFC the past 2 3 years has been awful to
Yeah,
be polite. But
especially
yeah,
finance.
right now
Finance.
it can't. Wait, it can't get any worse. And I feel like, yeah, I agree with you. The current champions that we have, it looks like things are gonna go going to be on the up now for UFC. And yeah, I feel like that's pretty much all we wanted to cover for UFC
Listen, guys, if I could
317.
just say one more thing, I don't want to
Go for it.
sound edgy, but let's not forget we have Amanda Nunes coming back as well against
Oh,
Kayla Harrison. I know it's the women's, but it's an intriguing fight.
I'm zero interest in that, to be honest. But I think
First cup.
the next UFC pay-per-view coming up is UFC 318 with Dustin Poirier's retirement fight. The
Looks
card, I've
horrible.
seen the card for that.
Looks
It's
horrible.
dreadful. It is
Horrible.
terrible. Oh my days. Dana White is an absolute criminal. But yeah, we'll probably do another UFC / boxing episode around UFC 318. So
UFC
yeah.
318, we have a USIC video bought that week as well, so we probably
Oh
cover
yeah,
both of them in this.
Yeah.
cover both of them. But yeah, man, that's been Mission Podcast, the UFC 317 immediate thought / review, whatever you want to call it. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, get out the socials, and yeah, we're on the road to 200 subs, so help us get there. And yeah, see you guys next time.